is a take 2 of our SEO Hangout with some of the best SEOs in the world in this very Hangout. We're going to be talking about issues and standards in SEO industry. How can we improve the quality of work that we're doing? How can we help people choose the right SEO company? How can we move in the right direction and work within Google's quality guidelines? This whole thing, for those who are not familiar, originally started when James posted something of a remark saying, you know, there are a lot of good and a lot of bad SEO companies out there, and I sort of joined to that discussion. And I said, there's a lot of very, very small niche type agencies, boutique type agencies doing a very good job, and nobody's ever heard of them. And there's a lot of big SEO agencies that really that deserve to be shut down. So I guess the starting point of this discussion is really what is SEO? You know, what is our definition of SEO? So does anyone want to start with that? Like, let's think about this. SEO, when it started back in the day, was a different thing to what it is now. So who braves to define SEO for starters? Any volunteers? Otherwise, I will just put somebody on the spot. All right, Jason. What do you think? What is SEO?
Well, SEO in my eyes is all about improving a website's usability and visibility in the search engines, right? So it's not just about link building anymore. It's not just about using the right keywords in the content. It's all those elements working together to provide a good user experience on your website and to satisfy what Google wants to see. So at the end of the day, in my eyes, what I do for my clients, what I sell SEO as is a end-to-end solution. It's not just SEO, it's all about how to create good content, how to publish that good content, and how to get people to like your content. So that's my definition of SEO.
Yep. Well, that's a good one. It's interesting that you sort of made a remark about link building. That's one of our points for discussion for today, I guess. You know, I think are we supposed to even do that? That's the question. But let's hear some more definitions. Okay, so we've heard from one Aussie. Let's hear from somebody else from the States.
Okay. Most of our clients will start off with the question, how can I get on page 1 and on number 1? And we have to find an answer for that. The most likely answer is build a website that has good content and will attract visitors, and because you have good content you will get links, but your clients just want to be on the first spot on page 1. That's the whole point.
So that's a preconceived idea that people already come to us with, correct?
Yeah. Can I
yeah,
can I jump in on that?
That's the start.
Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, this is why I try to come from the mindset now of, even though I'm not averse to the term SEO, and I don't mind being called that, I try to come from more the SEM, the search engine marketing standpoint, and approach my clients that way. So now more than ever, I think it's so important to be involved in education, especially of a new client up front, and to make expectations very clear, to make sure that they know what we're about when we're working with them, and that is that we're really looking to help them to market themselves through search and through online connections.
Yeah, well, that's a very good definition, but this is not. This is you know, we're broadening the definition of what SEO is. We're talking about online marketing and in general here. I think, did we lose Mark? Unfortunately, I think he's dropped out. Hopefully he comes back in. Yeah. Let's hear from more Aussies. DEJAN,
All right. All right. Well, I guess just on what the other guy said, that my big thing, I guess a lot of people, especially here in Australia, where search engines are the first touch point that people interact with a brand a lot of the time, and there's a good reason that there's always a good reason that people are, I guess, the first result in a lot of these keywords and a lot of these terms that people search for to find a product or a service. And us as SEOs, I guess, we're the ones to guide them in order to be in the place where people are looking. So it's not so much about being position one for a specific term, it's finding the specific term or finding what it is that the customer's looking for, and then giving them guidance and direction and, I guess, implementation to get there. So it's marketing, but we're the first touch point for 50 to 80% of the traffic, search engines. So and I'm sure we'll touch on this later, but the biggest challenge, I guess, is to get people to understand that search engines are this first touch point, and why they're important. And it's not just voodoo witch doctor magic that gets people in these positions. And as an SEO, that's I guess how I try to sell it to people, that you have an audience out there. What we're going to do is help you find that audience and help you be there for when that audience is looking for this particular, in the case of search engines, phrase or term. So yeah, I guess that's my roundabout way of what it is I do.
Okay.
So it's search marketing.
Yeah. Guys, any comments on so far? You pretty much agree with what's been mentioned so far?
I can just add that 2 words describe SEO to me: relevance and value. So it's pretty much summarizes everything that says SEO stands for.
Okay. So basically, I think we've got we're sort of reaching towards a broader scope of what we actually do. I think SEO started off as a technical activity, and kind of moved into guys. Am I having a great amount of noise coming from my microphone? Because I seem to be getting muted every now and then. Unfortunately, that's not going to help if I'm trying to.
Yeah, you lost sound altogether, Dan, a moment ago. But there seems to be somebody walking or having a conversation in proximity to you, and your mic's picking it up, getting it as a background noise in your conversation.
Oh, really? There's literally nobody in this room, which is really weird. Okay. Well, to help reduce the noise, I'll actually well, this might help if I actually do this. For starters, although you guys might start hearing me breathe, which might be a little bit awkward. But I think what we're talking about is, okay, SEO started, technical, and then we've done a lot of things like link building and things, and it's going in strategic direction. And where is it now? Are we sort of are we stopping being SEO agencies? Do we still do technical, strategic, and link building? And what is link building supposed to be? Are we supposed to be doing link building at all, guys? What do you think?
I think we need to educate the client in supplying content that attracts links far more than building links and submitting to directories or submitting to news or marketing or PR websites, but help them to find ways to build pages that attract links. And that's as much as of link building I do for my clients. I try to offer them the handles to make it happen, not to do it myself.
Yeah. I'll add something to that. This is precisely the direction in which I'm thinking in as well. And we all know that great content does earn links, but you have a situation where crap content gets fake links, and it works. So what do we do as SEO professionals do to combat this? Obviously, one of my guys mentioned the game theory, and they mentioned you know, if we all don't do things like link building, if we don't push the natural generation of links, then it'll be fair. Everyone will be the playing field's level, right? But if one starts doing it, all of a sudden they have an unfair advantage. And unfortunately, Google's algorithm is not as sophisticated to detect that. So do you think there is a chance that we might all just agree, let's do things the right way, and then we don't have to worry about all these... Who loves link building here? Raise your hand. Who enjoys link building? 3? So.
Can I contact you?
Go ahead. So most people, I'm actually surprised by that answer, because most people say, "Oh, link building. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's such a pain." And sometimes it's enjoyable, sometimes it's not really. But it all depends. If you have a great piece of content to start with, then it's not really hard to link build. But if you're link building to a subpage on a very boring topic that has absolutely no value, how are you going to encourage people to link to that? So that's...
Can I touch on that, Dan? With the link building, it's kind of one of these things that I've found that, as you mentioned earlier, it's like it's taking SEO away from this technical thing and turning it into a marketing thing. The link building, it opens up doorways, and it provides so many different opportunities and different different insights you'd otherwise not normally think about that you can provide clients, which then makes you a greater, I guess, marketing or informative resource when it comes to marketing online. So, and I know it does get boring. I mean, you could be, you know, some of the stuff that you have to link build for and do SEO for can sometimes be just so dry and so mundane. But this link building does let you find these opportunities that are so out there and so sort of left of center that you'd never normally think of it. And when you can provide those type of insights to the client, they tend to think of the information that you can provide as more than just trying to get rankings. Like, you're actually saying, look, here's an opportunity, not just through search engines, but here's an opportunity for an audience, for potential clients, for whatever it is that link building's provided. So it's almost like link building is doing the grunt work to provide better insights that they'd never normally think about. And I know that's not kind of what you asked, but it's one of I think that's what I find most enjoyable about link building. It's the stuff that you wouldn't normally see when you're looking for these opportunities. And, you know, it's spamming directories and commenting on blogs and all that rubbish link building techniques. You get none of that. But when you actually put in the effort, I think that makes it's a greater value proposition to the client and what you can offer them. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that.
What do you do as link building then?
What do I do? Well, I guess it's opportunity finding, isn't it? It's like, you know what, you sell this, you could be selling, you know, look, I can't think of anything off the top of my head without directly identifying clients, but, you know, well, when you're talking about a town or a shire, we have a few towns that we do work for. Yeah. And they have so many things that are happening within the town, within the city, that, you know, you're trying to promote a particular town. You can think of anything from, you know, from cafes to plants to bloody, you know, to businesses in there. And it's so many things that the marketers that are, I guess, interacting with you to do their SEO don't think of.
So you could more or less compare it to what in the non-internet world would be doing is public relations.
Yeah, it's online PR, straight up. That's what SEO is. I mean, and the voice is Google or Bing or Yahoo or Wolfram or whatever it is that you're optimizing for. That is where people come to find it. You know, it's like these PR aggregate sites. Google's the biggest one. You know, like you have a bigger voice, you have the most informative content, and you get all the technical ducks in a row. Then you're going to have some good PR online. Well, most of the time, of course, there's exceptions to that, but yeah, it's digital PR. I mean, you can sell it that way. It's like you're trying to promote a brand. You're trying to get that brand to be known in a, you know, for a segment or for a topic or phrase or whatever it is that they want to be known for, which is exactly that's public relations.
But then you're talking about writing articles that don't cost $1 per link.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things there. I mean, it all comes back to the content that you're providing or that your client's able to provide, and I guess attracting those audiences that are looking for that content or that topic. So, you know, of course, writing a 500-page article for one link is kind of, you know, you're really not going to get anywhere by just doing that. But you know, it's one of the bullets in your arsenal, I reckon. So, and you know,
how many good links do you need? For instance, in Australia to be at the top, because I know in the Netherlands, and we are a small country, if you have 20 good links, you could be well at the top of your keyword. It has nothing to do with thousands of directory links. It's quality links.
It all depends on who you're up against. I guess you see some clients where it's just like that. You can get 20 great links and they're going to be number one and they're going to get, you know, 400 hits for that term. But then you get another client who's, you know, spammed 20,000 link directories and commented on 50,000 blogs. And like Dan says, they're doing rubbish SEO, but they're winning. So, you know, it's ebbs and flows.
All right, let's see. I think Max has something to add to this. Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, it's going to be based on the definition of SEO that I gave. Since we're talking about link building, at some point it has to come to the point where the amazing content, or what AJ Khan would call memorable content, if you guys checked his latest article, that's what is supposed to build links. It's not the other way around. I think that the industry had a lot of trouble lately, for years now, because of their own priority, I guess. We were trying to build links in order to promote some content versus creating awesome content that will naturally build links by sharing, by people loving it and enjoying it. That's my opinion about it.
Yeah, I have a remark to this. Okay, so you go ahead and you do that, and then somebody else will just outright buy links and cheat in numerous other ways. So basically what's happening is they're risking it, but they could be getting away with it. For as long as they're getting away with it, your client's going to be unimpressed, because their competitors are doing all sorts of things, cheating and getting away. Eventually, 6 months, 12 months down the track, they might get caught. But during that time, they've accumulated business and expanded, and so I'd like to hear, maybe towards the end. Let's think about this. Maybe towards the end of the hangout, we can propose what can we do to influence people, kind of like carbon tax, right? How do we sort of twist people's arms and say, okay, let's try to do more and more of the good stuff, so we can stay in business, so we can stay competitive, and so we don't have to do all this nasty link building, and we can focus on content and truly make internet a better place. I've got Jason here with something to contribute with.
Just to add to the thing, I think the most important part is client education, right? If you educate your clients on what's good link building, what's bad link building, they can make the decision as to how they want to invest their money.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably the single most important thing that I've learned in the last 12 months. So with all this Panda, Penguin all coming up, and I put my hand up right now. I'm not completely white hat. I've tried black hat stuff. I've tried gray hat stuff, and shit, those things do work. But are you willing to risk your clients' websites by using those techniques? Again, educate the client, give them the options, and tell them if you go down this route, we can actively gun for this particular competitor who's blog spamming and article spamming and directory spamming. We can actually do it for you, but do you really want to do this? Do you really want to risk your website? And then, I like to use an analogy. Link building is like word of mouth marketing. Strip back all the technology, strip back all the internet, strip back email, strip back link building. How would you promote your website or your business? You go meet with people, you go networking events, you exchange business cards and stuff like that. So online link building or SEO is all about that, how you can promote your website online. You meet people, you talk to people, you be social, you share content. Like DEJAN posted this event today. Or what do we do to get all these people tuning into us? We share the content. We tell our friends about it. We tell our peers about it. So yeah, to me, client education is very, very important. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
If I can add to that, I'll go for it.
No. Go ahead, Max.
I was just, I totally agree with you. And Mackenzie Fogelson, if you guys are following SEO Moz, today on the blog she wrote about educating your clients. And the other perspective or a view on that you can take is, would you want to take someone who doesn't want to, who will be put away by that tactic of their competitor, or would you be selective about who you'll take and educate and work with, and how flexible they'll be about learning this the right way and understanding how to do it the right way, and just the education part is very important. And it's let's not put it as an excuse for other people to get away with things, or for even us to not strive for the best, but put that education, a responsibility on us to educate the client.
Yeah, one of the problems I encounter when I'm educating the client is with smaller clients it's fairly easy. You can convince the boss that he shouldn't be doing things he initially thought he should be doing or I should be doing for him. But as soon as you start talking with the internet marketer or the marketeer of a larger company, then you will have to give him not only your own education, but you will have to support him with material or background articles to convince his boss and his boss and his boss to make it all work. Because the CEO has heard, oh, it's quite easy to get your website on #1, just put some hidden text behind it and it's all fine. That's all he heard from his nephew, who has also a nice website. And building that whole story for your contact person within a larger company can be quite complex and needs a larger education than you as a person can do to your contact person.
Yep. So I think we've come to a bit of a consensus at this point. So key ingredient in getting SEO industry on the right track is client education. I think everyone agrees with that here. And I think, why do we need to educate people or inform people? I think the reason for this is because there are good SEO companies, there are bad SEO companies, all sorts of dodgy operators out there. And we're seeing good SEO companies catching up with bad practices because there's no other choice. But there is a choice if people stop expecting strange things they hear from the other SEO providers. So I think what happens is people type in some keyword in hope to find an SEO company, and they go to top 10 and they contact everyone and they try to get a best deal, they try to get a best quote. And SEO is not really a tangible service, so they're looking for something that they can, some ROI, something. So one of the things that they expect is link quantities. That's the single most ridiculous thing that we have introduced as SEOs. How can you promise your client 30 links per month, 100 links per month, 12 links per... How do you know how many links they will earn that month? Unless you're going to buy them, or unless you're going to arrange them in some way. I think that business model is flawed, and I think we need to stay away from that. But the problem is we ourselves are responsible for educating the client in the wrong way, for starters, by having them expect link quantities, having them expect rankings within 2 months, having them expect all these things that don't really make sense. So I think it's time for us to sort of work more. Perhaps, what can we do? There are guidelines. So somebody mentioned, I think, that we should work with, we have supply and documentation that supports education, right? I think Rob mentioned that, or Max perhaps. So there are numerous documents that Google's released. One of them is the quality guidelines. One of them is the SEO guide. So maybe we should be sending our clients to read that in support, saying some SEO claims this and Google claims that. And maybe we can supply that documentation in our defense when they start complaining.
I'm thinking ultimately it's not really about educating them about Google. It's educating them, look, someone comes into your business, how do you treat them? How do you treat them when they walk in? Why do we treat, that's the main question I always ask, why do we treat our website visitor differently than how we treat them offline? Why do we try to trick the system, not provide the value for the customer, not to be trying to be relevant online when we're doing this offline all the time? I just don't understand this. It's a priority issue, I think.
Okay. We have another interesting problem, interesting issue that one might not think about straight away. Who's here agency side? I know that we've got James, we've got Dalen, Jason, Rob. Okay, can I just hear from you guys? Let's start with James. How many people in the agency directly with SEO?
With SEO, I think there's probably about 10, but we're primarily a SEM agency, so we have 46 or so in Sydney, about 30 in Melbourne, and a few up in Brisbane. So we're primarily an SEM company.
Yep.
But the SEO numbers are a bit smaller, but we're growing rapidly.
Yep. Okay, so let's say SEO, strictly SEO, about 10. Doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to. We're talking. The next topic is quality control. That's why I'm curious. Dalen.
Well, I'm not just an SEO agent. We're digital where I work, so we got everything. So our SEO team's 4.
Yep.
Of which I oversee it all. So.
Okay.
From a quality point of view, that's something that I'm like militant on. Like we don't, like we sell our services as, you know what, we're going to do what's right for your business, not what's right for right now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that came out a bit wrong, but we're going to do. Yeah, we're always going to look after the business before we look after quick, easy wins that are going to hurt later on. So quality's number one for us, definitely.
Jason?
The most important.
We have about 4 full-time SEO people in our agency. So 3 in Melbourne and 1 in Sydney.
Okay.
And it's
Rob,
definitely a growing service, and
sorry.
clients are definitely requesting for it, so which is good.
Yep.
Healthy industry.
We had Rob who raised his hand, agency side.
I'm a one-man band.
Okay. I think when you're talking about 1 to 10, that's a manageable size group. As soon as you go a little bit larger, you have management issues, and you have quality control issues. And as hopefully many of you will find out, as soon as you add 20, 30 people to your team, you have a whole different ballgame in terms of quality control. Why this happens is because some people in your team will get ideas by hearing the SEO industry is not regulated. There is no official, apart from what we hear from search engines. Everyone has an opinion, right? And people say, "Oh, this worked." Go to Digital Point forum, and this guy will get you 20 links for $100, this and that. So people make deals. I think a key thing for agencies with more than, say, 10 people would be involved directly with SEO, would be to moderate that and ensure that quality control is in place. So individuals within the organization, I for example, go out there and I talk about SEO and how things should be done, and then one person from my team does something that completely embarrasses me. Imagine how I feel. Dan wrote this great article, published it on SEO Moz or somewhere, and his people are doing the complete opposite. Makes you look like a total idiot. But things like that do happen. It's because people hear conflicting advice. They hear different ideas, and there's, in attempt to help, they're actually doing something wrong. So I think internal, not just client education, I think internal coaching and education is a crucial ingredient here. Who here has read the new guidelines? Are you guys aware that new Google quality guidelines are out? Rob has, and Jim. Jason, yeah. Anything interesting in there?
Authorship. Next big thing.
Yeah. That's the one that grabbed your attention?
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I think some guys at the SMX East this morning were heavily discussing and debating about authorship and the potential of authorship. And I think you yourself, Dan, you're a strong believer in authorship, aren't you?
Yeah,
I am. There's a hangout that's coming up, and I think Max was going to say that as well. Tune in tomorrow or later today.
No, it's tomorrow. I don't know about Australia. I'm not. I can't switch that far.
No. It's 6 o'clock in the morning our time.
Right. It's 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. AJ Khan will be there. Mark will be there. A lot of people. And Mike and Bill Slotsky, they were talking about SMX, and they're very credible in the area of authorship. They might attend too. You just never know. So tune in tomorrow, definitely, for more discussion about authorship. It's going to be awesome.
I agree. I think authorship is an exciting area, particularly because you guys get that the whole point of Google's social network, Google Plus, is to have real people, not on Twitter you can be any username. Google Plus wants real people with real names, with real faces. And that's why the authorship is there, and that's why they're trying to understand us as humans, not us as aliases and all sorts of fake profiles. So I think Google Plus is all about individuals and their connections, both implicit and explicit, and that's definitely going to be a signal. But I remember that Matt Cutt said that I wouldn't worry too much about pluses. If you get 1,000 pluses, you get 10 pluses, it's not such a strong direct signal for rankings. But in terms of quality control, has anyone else noticed anything interesting in there, or was it just me that's noticing this one thing? There's, for the first time, they've actually specified in more detail what are the bad link practices. For example, they've given example of text advertisements that pass PageRank. low quality directory and bookmark sites. Footer spam was mentioned. They talked about links embedded in widgets, mass distributed, and forum comments with optimized links. Remember when you go, post something on a forum and there's like your keyword that you want to rank for in your signature? That's actually now recognized as a bad practice. How many of us have done that in the past? And how many? Yeah, I think most of us have done something like that. So do you need to go back and clean up or update your signature in all those forums you participated in? Because the things that you've done in the past could be, hurting you now. So how many people are members of a governing body or an association that's to do with SEO here? Anyone member of SEMPO? Rob's showing it costs money to join. Can you think of any other organization that kind of attempts to standardize and put best practices forward as far as this?
We do have the IBAR.
Rob, go ahead.
We do have the EIAB association, and that regulates a bit of it, but they still allow a gray and black hat as long as you tell it to your clients.
Oh,
more
right.
or less. Well, that seems kind of fair because it's not illegal.
No.
And as long as you tell your client, okay, but yeah, it's not something I can agree with, but that's what we have in the Netherlands.
Okay, so that's specific to Jason. Do we have anything here in Australia that?
I think IAB, they're starting to do something in the SEO space. I know they govern a lot of the digital best practices. I think just in recent years, they're starting to give out awards for good SEO campaigns. I think last year, First Rate won something for, won an award for the best SEO agency or SEO project that they were doing. So I think, yeah, there is IAB. Sampo, not too worried. I think James mentioned something about topseos.com as well. Nah, not too sure about that.
No, I mentioned that Top SEOs was a bad example of website. I said Top SEOs, you pay your way in.
No, exactly.
SEO, you just pay money to get in there.
Yeah.
I'd never recommend Top SEOs.
No. That's why I said it's rubbish, that website. So now, I think Sampo is almost there, but I don't know.
So, so you guys are saying that if you can pay your way in, it's an ad. It's not a recommendation. That's basically your main objection there. But do we have anything? What do our customers? Let's talk about Australia. What do our customers? What are our prospective clients? Where do they go? What do they do to find out a good SEO company? And what resource can they actually trust?
Recommendations from friends.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Being a well-known face in the industry. Pretty much just if you're already working on a media campaign, then working on the SEO component of the campaign because they trust you from the media side. Those are probably some key elements of where we acquire business from.
At the same time, you can also look at other clients and testimonials from those clients to get recommended for SEO work. So it's really about the experience that you're providing those customers.
Yeah. But if somebody's to go,
Dan.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I don't think you can leave the judgment up to clients and their testimonials. They're not qualified to judge. They're only going to like it if the ROI goes up a point. Like for example, there was I stumbled across this guy in the Webmaster Help Forum just this week, and and he was spending $4,000 a month with a top SEO company in New York, and they butchered his site. Absolutely butchered it. I recommended Autocrat to fix him up. Dan, sorry about that. I should have thought of you first.
So they were paying a lots of money, and they were given bad advice or black hat tactics, or nothing happened.
They were doing everything wrong, and see, he was pleased with them until the point that his site tanked, and then he found his way to the webmaster help forum. But he's looking at a well-respected company, and you know, his site's still ranking, so he's happy. So that's his judgment. So that's what I'm saying. You can't trust a customer's judgment, because their opinion is only determined on whether they're up or they're down.
Yep.
But I guess if you look at a client's result and the experience that they're getting from an SEO agency, if they've got a positive experience, in their mind, it really depends on what they believe to be true. Sure, if a site's been taken down and there's a crisis at hand, they're going to look for some advice elsewhere, such as that situation. But the whole reality around how somebody's performing in SEO, depending on what sort of results they're getting.
Yeah. Okay, so can we have somebody from the client side to speak up? Do we have anyone? Richard.
Hi.
Hi. So you worked with a number of SEO companies, right?
Yeah, I'm like an SEO junkie, SEO company junkie.
Okay. Yeah. So we worked with you as well.
Yeah, you guys are great, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a risky question. I was worried there for a sec. What do you look for in an SEO company? What's the best thing and the worst thing that you've had as supplied by an SEO company? What were the was it expectations and disappointments? Was it bad advice? What do you personally as a client expect from an SEO company? What do you look for when you're actually looking for one?
The number one thing used to be their link building strategy, how they went and acquired links. If they ever said anything that was dodgy, I'd be running a mile. If they were more on the side of, we'll get you a couple of links a month, I'm like, fantastic. How are you going to get those links? And if they told me answers that I wanted to hear, which was quality links, fewer but good quality ones, that's what I wanted to hear. The ones that are really difficult to get. I didn't want spam because I can do that on Fiverr.com for $5. And so that's what I was looking for. At the moment, it's still that. It's still heavily focused around links, but probably more of a focus on quality content now. That will accompany those links. So they might publish some content somewhere else that will in turn generate links as well. Yeah. But at the moment, we don't use any SEO companies in Australia. We do use one in Canada as an experiment. It was a low-budget experiment. We probably didn't ask them enough questions, and we found last week 100 forum profile spams.
Ouch.
With direct match link text. So
no.
we've said, guys, we need to undo that, and then we're going to tell them that once they've undone that work, we're going to tell them that we need to finish as quickly as possible.
Okay, so what type of research did you do when you decided to go with them?
I honestly don't know, because that was someone else in the company that was responsible for that, and I think they did enough research. They asked them the right questions. It was, a deceptive act by an SEO company. I don't think it was any fault of our own. Perhaps it was a bit of inexperience, but they were just deceptive, and it's still rampant, obviously.
I've got a question for you, Richard.
Sure.
From a client side, when you're briefing out SEO campaigns to people, what is your single objective? What do you tell them? Do you tell them and say, I want to rank #1 for car rentals? Or would you say, I need someone to help me do my content, help me
Sure.
promote my content and stuff like that?
Yeah, good question. We're probably not the right client for you to be asking that to, because we do our own in-house SEO. I recently hired my first SEO assistant. He's listening in. Hi, Luke. So we do our own SEO. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I hire SEO companies for yearly audits just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Otherwise, it could be my ego getting in the way. So I'm very open to feedback from people that are also in the industry that have had different experiences, and I find that a really good learning experience. So I feel like I've learned the best of multiple SEOs over the years. So I look for, personally, I look for experience that I don't otherwise have.
So what are your KPIs internally, though? There has to be an objective coming from up above, right?
I would have a look at their link report every month to see how many links there are, but mostly what quality those links are. And I used to always look purely at page rank. I don't care so much now. I guess it's still an addiction that's hard to let go of. So page rank, but more so now relevance. So is the links that they're getting relevant? And that would be the biggest KPI still, link building. It's the most time-consuming thing that we have, and that's why I need help with it sometimes.
Rob says you sound like an ideal client, but they are so rare to find.
Oh, okay.
I've had pleasure working with a great number of SEO savvy people, and these tend to be the best types of campaigns if your people can support the work. Because these people don't need any persuading. They know that what they need. They know that it's not about quantity, it's about quality when it comes to links. They know it's about content and sound technical structure. I think we should work towards having more people like on the level of understanding of SEO, like Richard and the ones like him. All right, we're saying goodbye to Jason, who has to run. And we're nearly about to wrap up, so we've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. I'd like to ask everyone what they have done to improve the quality of SEO industry. What have they done to redeem themselves from all the shady, great tactics they've done in the past? Should we start left from right, or should we just raise hands? Whoever wants to speak up.
Hey, Dan.
Yes.
I got one. It's not so much myself, but it's a story that a friend of mine did. He was receiving he runs a photography website that gets quite a bit of a bit of traffic, and he gets a bit of work through it. But he was receiving emails from a large online casino company, and they were saying, "Look, we'll pay you $100 if you can feature a link on your website about casinos." And he wrote back saying, "Look, I don't talk about casinos, why would you want me to do it?" And they said, "Oh, look, you got a strong domain. We'd really appreciate if you could do this link. We'll make it $125. And he actually took offense to this, and he's like, "Oh, this is shit. This is what's ruining SEO for a lot of people." So he actually got on Twitter and messaged Matt Cutts. And Matt Cutts got back to him. And now those guys are actually banned from Google because of those type of tactics. So that's one way, I guess, of getting rid of dodgy SEO from on the internet. So I thought that was a pretty cool story. Matt Cutts replied directly to my mate, and sure enough, 2-3 months later, these guys were no longer to be found.
So we're outing others.
Well, like I said, that was well, I mean, if someone's completely destroying the industry that, one, you work in, and two, that you enjoy doing, it's like maybe that's a bit of a no-brainer. It's like if they're ruining things for everyone, including clients, well, maybe that is a tactic. It's not something that I've actually, there's been, I'm sure you've had negative SEO issues, I hear, Dan.
Yes.
And I'm sure if you found the people responsible for that, you'd probably very much like to go after them. But it's it's people like that are just destroying it for us, and the whole reason we're having a hangout like this.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, we're still under every now and then we're under attack of negative SEO. We don't know who is doing, or we know why they're doing it, but it's just very, very annoying because these people could be doing different things with their time. I'm not saying just our company being targeted by I don't know, maybe it's Xrummer or something like that, but I'm saying us and several other SEO companies being targeted by attempts of negative SEO. But from what I'm seeing is Google's pretty good at catching that type of stuff. So I think most negative SEO attempts are kind of wasted time. I'm gonna pitch in and mention what I've done personally to try to help the industry and try to clean up our act as well. We have recently gone through our entire backlink profile. It took us a year. And we've been removing anything that we find very uncomfortable. I did write about a year ago. I wrote a post on SEO Moz saying why link schemes fail. And after that post, I went into my own backlink profile and realized, well, this is not very nice. I had schemes in my own backlink profile, so maybe it's time to clean up our own act. So over about 12 months' time, we've actually removed 120 links. Somewhere from sites that we owned, and I think people were already starting to talk about it. It was very embarrassing, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in there. So each month we actually, in addition to generating content and doing, outreach and things like that, we actually go through our links and clean up. We're preparing a tool that we might be offering to public, which actually scans inbound referrer traffic through analytics and Google Webmasters tools and alerts you each time a new link is placed on your site. For each time a new referrer from the new domain that's never referred to you before. That way you can very quickly catch web spam. If someone does an Xrummer a campaign on your site, you can actually know as soon as any traffic comes through those links. The problem is
can you drop a link for that tool? Or is that a part of your SEO firm?
You should sell that to Google, Dan.
It's a little bit sensitive because you need to create you need to verify your analytics and Google Webmasters Tools account in that, which means that somewhere in the database we would have your password, even as hashed. Still, I'm still thinking. I don't know how to solve this, but if somebody trusts us enough that we're not going to go and hack your analytics account or something like that, you're welcome to sign up as an alpha tester. This is not even at beta stage. I'm using it daily and it's very useful. As soon as I notice a dodgy link, it's like real time. As soon as, like daily reports, as soon as I notice one, it alerts me and I go have a look at it and then I can react to that. So I guess that's my contribution, and we continue to clean up. And I hope one day we can just relax and focus on content and proper outreach, rather than worrying about all these petty little schemes, which I'm very, very annoyed with, and I've had enough. And that's why we're having this hangout. Has anyone had anything that they can say that they've proudly done in recent times to to help SEO? Richard.
Hi, can you hear me? Yep.
Yes.
Last week I made a spreadsheet and exported all data from Ahrefs. Also, it could be done with Majestic SEO. So it's got a spreadsheet with the value of a link, similar to like PageRank, I guess, and every link that we've got. And then I created a few extra columns, one that would count the number of keywords that a particular link is used. And this was to help fix our website, our UK website, which had a lot of dodgy link practices because all of our competitors were. So we figure, hey, if they're going to do that, we should do it too. And it all backfired for everyone recently. So we did the spreadsheet. We used special colors and formatting so we could find all the links that were low quality and also all the links that were the same keyword. And so now we have about 2,000 links that we need to remove painstakingly. So we're outsourcing it to someone to look up the contact us form and the email address of all these websites so that we can painstakingly contact each one, probably with one big email, and just see if we can start to get some of them removed.
Okay, one tip for you. We closing down the public broadcast. I welcome everyone to stay in. In about 1 minute, we're closing down the public broadcast.
Okay.
I'll ask if anyone else has done anything else that they're proud of as far as SEO goes and sort of going in the right direction. Sign of good faith. And in the meantime, I'll just mention one thing, Richard. When you're doing link cleanup, often you will find in things like Ahrefs and Majestic and Open Site Explorer, you'll find all sorts of rubbish links. Recently, we've heard in the Hangout with Google that when you're cleaning up your links, you don't have to pay for any external tools. You can simply go into Google Webmasters tools and export everything you see in there. And if you clean up what's in there, that's good enough to submit a reconsideration request. You don't have to pay for any money for any external tools.
Gotcha.
Second thing in link cleanup, don't worry cleaning up anything that's a nofollow, because that won't help or harm you. So that's a waste of time.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Another one that's kind of controversial, but I still advise people, if you've bought links on blog networks that have been de-indexed, like ALN and Build My Rank, if those websites are de-indexed, they no longer have the capacity to harm your website because they're carved out of the link graph. But if they should be re-included, then they can harm you again. So they should be removed, but perhaps not your first priority because they're not directly hurting you straight away. So that's just some tips. But the last one is sort of contended by others, but I still insist on saying that.
So the ones at Webmaster Tools, is that everything that Google sees?
No. It's a representative sample, but I think it contains enough there for your reconsideration request to be valid. And I think Google wants to say to us as webmasters that you don't need to clean up, you don't need to pay any money for all these fancy tools. We give you all the tools you need to manage your situation. Okay, that's all right. So before we wrap up, guys, anyone else wants to bring up anything that they're proud of that they've done in recent times? Yes.
Quick one.
Yep.
Basically, we engaged with the client probably around 6 months ago, where their prior SEO company had actually built links on adult websites. So basically, we had to go through their whole link profile and remove all these adult links where possible. So that was quite a very annoying one for the client, as this prior SEO company had done. They'd just gone for all these high PR links within adult websites. So we had to go through the complete link profile. As you said, we looked through WNT. I think that Webmaster Tools is definitely a better place to start when looking at link removal. I mean, if you want to compare Majestic and Ahrefs, that's probably, I'd use Majestic, but definitely start with Webmaster Tools. We pretty much went through and removed all these links that were really damaging to that specific client, and this was a global business as well. So once they were all removed, the client was quite happy, and then we started natural, quality, relevant link building for that specific client.
Great, that's really good to hear. Anyone else has anything to add before we wrap up, guys?
Well, I think awareness is a big thing. I tried a little bit on my level just to bring awareness into SEO world by even comments or through Hangouts, through Google+. So that was my experience with trying to improve the mindset of SEO world.
Hopefully a lot of people see our Hangouts. I have my fingers crossed, and I'll promote your upcoming Hangout. Hopefully more people see it. I think Rob had one more thing to add.
Well, mentioning dodgy SEO firms at the Google forums does seem to help because it's the Google guides do have more connections than just submitting a complaint about a website or a company. So working on the fora does help to expose them and get them banned, penalized, or whatever. I've seen it happened several times. Even got calls from the ones who were penalized. Actually, at the end, they even cut up my convertible top because of that. At the end of it.
Okay. I think we've totally run out of time for this session. I would like to thank everyone who's participated. I think we've scratched the surface. We reached the tip of the iceberg, that is the problems with the SEO industry, and I think we should continue in the upcoming weeks with some perhaps more solid suggestions. What are the further things we can do to clean up our act in the SEO industry? And if we run another session like this, I will invite everyone here and more people, perhaps some of the viewers. I wish everyone to have a great day, and those who stayed up for this hangout, thank you very much, and have a good night. Hope to see you guys next time. See you guys.
Thank you, Dan. Cheers, man.